The opponent goes for the Surf Catch onto Lantern, and this former top meta core of Gligar and Lantern is very quickly going to be introduced to the new top dogs. Bibarel shields up the Surf, farms up to the double charge, whose Hyper Fang will be removing the silly electric fish from the field of play. And when Gligar does return, Surf is going to be all she wrote. GG's and thanks for playing. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be taking a look at a team that was recommended to me in the YouTube comment section. A shout out to Nicola for the team suggestion. I can't quite believe we're at a point in Pokemon Go PvP where the core of Jumpluff and Bibarel is not only good, but actually one of the best cores you can run. A shout out to fellow content creator K-Pine, who recently used this core to hit Legend. A lot of people will scroll YouTube looking for team ideas that they can also have success with. However, it's not as simple as seeing a team, selecting the free Pokemon, and then magically going like 5-0 and getting great success. This team is personally not something I'm particularly a fan of. Firstly, I don't like free turn moves. I'm also not a big Jumpluff fan either. However, despite this team not particularly suiting my playstyle, I was able to gain around 115 elo on the day. So without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1, we lead the mighty Shadow Bibarel into Gastrodon. In this battle of water types, a lost lead for us as we're hitting for resisted with our rollouts and they're hitting for neutral with the mud slaps. We pivot into Kanto Marowak, which I will be using as the safe switch. I'm going to farm up, throw the Bone Club just before the potential Earth Power. At this point, trainer, if you want to Earth Power me, enjoy yourself. The opponent goes to the Body Slam bait, we withstand the damage and we're able to reach the next Bone Club. This will enable us to win the Zero Shield scenario. Down goes Gastrodon. The opponent now sends out Dunsparce and it becomes very apparent the opponent had no answer for our Marowak. I'd love to have saved this move, but unfortunately Switch Timer isn't quite up. Switch Timer finally pops up and I make the aggressive pivot back into Bibarel. We can tank any one move. Drill Run will do a lot as Shadow Bibarel really is not bulky whatsoever. I will be investing in a Protect Shield, blocking up the next Drill Run. And if the opponent continues to stay in, which they are, alarm bells are starting to ring in my head. I'm thinking I might have made a huge mistake as it's likely a fire Pokemon in the back. We're able to fire off the Surf, forcing the opponent's first protection with Bibarel with the higher attack, able to reach the next Surf, removing Bibarel from the field of play, and out comes Typhlosion. Oh boy, this is going to be tough. Marowak has hardly any HP, however, as they're using a 5-turn Incinerate, I can throw one Mud Slap, transfer the Incinerate onto Jumpluff, and I've already decided that my win con is going to be the fast move beatdown. I'm going to shield whatever they throw, get off as much Fairy Wind damage as I physically can, and hope I put them in a range where one singular Mud Slap removes them from the field of play. We get off 2 further Fairy Winds. Is that one Mud Slap range? Unfortunately it's not, and the opponent survives on 1 HP in a dream. GG's to that trainer. Heading into the next battle, we see Lotix in the lead. Our rollouts are super effective, but Sucker Punch, a former counter clone, is doing as much as our super effective move. I'm going to shield at the Trailblaze, throw one rollout and the Surf. Surf will be lethal or force our Protect Shield back. Bibarel very spammy, and we are going to be able to outpace to the next charge move. This is one of the reasons I hate using 3-turn moves, as it's really easy if you're using a 2-turn move to throw one and make the catch. The opponent catches onto Dragonair, but that's fine. I'm going to send out Jumpluff and just commit to the very aggressive full Fairy Wind farm down. One of the main reasons you don't see Dragonair, or Shadow Dragonair to be more precise, that commonly anymore, is after the Body Slam nerf, that Body Slam just simply doesn't cut it. Jumpluff gets a massive farm down, leaving low, but with a whole heap of residual energy. Out comes Clodsire. We're going to fire off the Energy Ball. Energy Ball hits for neutral, and as we're Shadow, a decent amount of neutral damage of that. I'm aware the opponent's Switch Timer's up. We pause a turn, wait for the opponent to try to make the catch. Lotix re-enters the arena. Aerodation moves them from the field of play. I pivot into Kanto Marowak, and that is going to be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see the battle of the rollout users. This is a good lead for Bibarel as we pace at the same speed, and we have the higher attacks. We're going to win all even shielding scenarios. Bibarel can tank one move. When I first played these battles, like I said in the intro, I wasn't entirely sure how this team worked. So of course, I can fire off the first Surf, throw the next Surf, winning CMP. However, we are actually running an ABB team with a double weak to ice and quite weak to flying in the back. So I think a better play there would have been potentially looking to catch that move. Marowak then could have easily tanked the move, and then of course we could have potentially baited out an ice type should the opponent have one. However, as they sent out Venusaur, of course, I'm just going to let Bibarel go down and send out Jumpluff, keeping Kanto Marowak well away from this Venusaur. The opponent doesn't shield the Aerodase, they get rocked deep into the red. We're able to reach the next Aerodase. This Aerodase will be lethal or forced to Protect Shield. The opponent is so low that I'm actually going to snipe him with Kanto Marowak. Of course, we're definitely shielding up a Frenzy Plant. I don't fancy getting one shot. Let's see what that third is. The opponent's third Pokemon is Gator. Kanto Marowak I'll be honest, it's such a cheesy bloody Pokemon. Despite the type disadvantage, you can cheese your way through this matchup in the 2-shield scenario. I actually don't have 2 shields. I've got no idea why the opponent didn't shield that Bone Club. But I'm not complaining. We're going to shield the Hydro Cannon, Mud Slap Farm Down Gator, Mud Slap Farm Down Venusaur, and take that game. Heading into the next battle, once again, we see Gastrodon in the lead, and I am looking for some redemption. We once again utilise a Kanto Marowak Say Switch, and the opponent responds with a Shadow Alolan Sunslash. I'm not entirely sure that's the Say Switch the opponent's looking for. They don't even shield the Bone Club, and they instantly top left. Not really too much to say other than moving on to the next battle. We see Bibarel into Drapion. As the opponent isn't a Shadow variant, we can tank a Crunch. A Shadow and Shadow Crime is ridiculous damage, as Bibarel cannot really tank a hit to save its life. I look to fire off one rollout and the Surf for optimal fast move timing, and once again that 3 turn into 2 turn comes back to haunt me as the opponent catches onto a Azumarill. Of course, I think you can do one of 2 things there. You can either pause a turn, ensuring Drapion's still on the screen, or you could actually throw the Hyper Fang, anticipating them looking to catch it on a water type. I did stay in, fire off the Hyper Fang, which I was anticipating going unshielded. The opponent shielding that move actually makes my life kind of awkward. Despite Jumpluff being a grass type and Azumarill being a water type, one energy ball doesn't knock him out from that range. And Ice Beam is double super effective. You can survive one, but it does like 90%. So what I'm actually going to do is double shield, Fairy Wind Farm Down, and leave with a lot of energy. Out comes Mandibuzz. This doesn't look fantastic. Jumpluff, weak to fly in, but we can at least fight back. Fairy Wind super effective. The Aerial Aces do hit for neutral, but it takes about 15 to knock out this ever annoying bulky Vulture. My opponent made a very nice catch earlier, so it's time to return the favour. We catch the Aerial Ace back onto our low health Bibarel. Of course, I am going to be Switch Locked, but Jumpluff with energy, able to hit both the remaining Pokemon for neutral. I send back out Jumpluff, throw 4 Fairy Winds and the Aerial Ace, maintaining disciplined fast move timing. Mandibuzz and Air Slash does offer fast move pressure, but is so slow to charge moves. Jumpluff able to outpace to the next Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace goes unshielded. The opponent put all their hopes and dreams on Drapion. Back out comes Drapion. Jumpluff reaches yet another Aerial Ace. I think he's thrown like 6 charge moves in this battle. The opponent unwilling to shield, so we send out Kanto Marowak looking for the snipe. The opponent fire off the Crunch. They're going to be unable to reach another move, and we take that game. Heading into the next battle, once again we see the battle of the rollout users. I believe I play this matchup exactly the same as I did last time. Look to win the 0 shield scenario. However, as I said, you should probably do as I say and not as I do. I think a better play would be saving Bibarel and potentially catching the next drill run onto your Kanto Marowak. We pause a turn, ensuring the first Surf isn't caught, and then we are going to throw the Surf instantly. Regardless if it's caught or not, we just want to get off this damage. As the opponent shielded once, I'm more than happy to let Bibarel go down, as that looks like a very nice running start for Marowak. The opponent not wanting to get farmed down, pivot out into Dugong, and this is probably what I should catch in case they've got a potential Ice type. However, with that being said, as we're upper Protect Shield, there's no need to bait. We're able to land the Rock Slide. Rock Slide does a lot of damage and actually puts him in a range where we can just shield once and fully Mud Slap farm him down. Mud Slap's disgusting, bearing in mind that is -1 as we got debuff, but it simply does not matter. I look to reset my debuff, and out comes Superior. So Jumpluff looking in a good position here. The opponent pivots back out into Dunsparce. We're going to look to remove him from the field of play with the Aerial Ace. The opponent might consider shielding it just to get off as much rollout damage and the Rock Slide damage as they physically can. Of course, I am going to shield this move up. Rock Slide would be super effective and would probably do more than a non-stab Aerial Ace from Superior. Unfortunately, Fairy Wind doing absolutely nothing. One of my agrees with Jumpluff is the fast move pressure it applies is non-existent. However, we should still be good to go here. We fire off the Aerial Ace goes unshielded. The opponent is going to reach the Aerial Ace at the same time as I do, so I go for the CMP sack, unfortunately unsuccessfully, but Rock Slide puts him in a range, and one further Mud Slap is going to be all she wrote. GG's that opponent. Another reason I went for the catch is Jumpluff, very defense weighted, Superior does win that charge attack priority. In the next battle, we see Azumarill in the lead position, a decent lead for us. Rollouts hit for neutral, as well as these Hyper Fangs that do a lot of damage, but again you're going to see Shadow Bibarel's lack of bulk. Azumarill doesn't hit particularly hard, but Bibarel makes it look like it's very attack weighted. K-Pine is using a very similar Jumpluff Bibarel core, opts for regular Bibarel, and he recommends it well over the Shadow just because it's already attack weighted and the Shadow doesn't really help you out in too many scenarios. Shadow Bibarel was able to win the 0 shield scenario against Azumarill. The opponent sent out Annihilate and made the pivot into Kanto Marowak, and it was very important that I did as the opponent had Talonflame in the back. I feel like whenever I face a Kanto Marowak user, even when I'm using a flyer, like Shadow Swallow would be a great example, they all like to bait Bone Club. That's not my style. We full send 2 rock size, forcing both protect shields of the opponent. They do get a very nice Incinerate farm down. But as long as I've managed this endgame well, we're still fine here. We're now receiving the energy for the Surf and got the higher attack. I'm going to anticipate the opponent looking to snipe. We bank the Surf, make the pivot into Jumpluff, and that anticipation should win me this game. The opponent goes straight for a Rage Fist, so I'm going to play it safe, throw 6 Fairy Winds and the Aerial Ace, which is one quick move before the opponent potentially reach a boosted Ice Punch. This is only a Rage Fist, which simply will not cut it. Aerial Ace will be removing Annihilate from the field of play. Down goes 8, back out, comes Talonflame. I didn't actually expect us to survive that Incinerate. We did, so we're going to BM them with the Energy Ball. Am I sorry? No, I'm not, because I hate Talonflame. The opponent opts to dump their energy, and we don't even need the Surf, as one rollout will knock them out. GG's to that opponent. Speaking of anticipating plays, Kalen Peng put out a very, very good video over the weekend, showcasing some anticipated plays from very talented battler Arrow. I'd highly recommend checking that video out. In the next battle, dreadful lead, we say switch into Kanto Marowak. I try and make a huge balls, night/bait call and get rocked with a close combat left on minimal HP. I then look to fire off the Bone Club, which the opponent catches onto Feraligatr, and things are not looking fantastic. We send up a Barrel. The Barrel can tank any one move. Even if I'm on crunch, it won't do too much as they are not the Shadow. After this, I am going to have to throw the Surf on alignment to deny the next Hydro Cannon. Surf, even resisted, will be lethal. And switch times are misaligned, so I'm spamming the switch, hoping Jumpluff core breaks the back line. The opponent will be temporarily switch locked, so I'm just going to continue to farm up energy. Out comes Toxapex. Unfortunately, I'm not core breaking shit, and I'm going to concede the match. GG's to that opponent. In the next battle, we see Dragonite in the lead position. Dragonite absolutely claps for Barrel. Despite their Dragon Breath being neutral, our rollouts being super effective. They send out Gator, and I'm like, that's absolutely fine with me. I'm just staying in, of course. I want to align Jumpluff with Dragonite. I go straight for the Hyper Fang. Hyper Fang forced to protect shield. I'm more than happy to match shield and try and shore up that alignment that I want. We've already seen that Surf will knock them out from here, so I'm going to throw 3 rollouts, maximise my farm, and fire off the Surf. Surf goes unshielded. The opponent then sends out Toxapex, and that play of just staying in, sometimes you don't need to go for the U switch, I switch, is going to win me this game. We land the Hyper Fang. Of course, we're going to send out Marowak into this. The opponent pivots out into Dragonite, and here comes Pluff. I think essentially the only win con left for the opponent is me having a heart attack. We go straight for the Aerial Ace, which goes unshielded. The opponent hoping that Toxapex is the key to victory. But all tanking that Aerial Ace does is put them in a range where I can just Fairy Wind farm down Dragonite, Energy Ball the return in Toxapex, and leave very minimal farm from them. They're going to need like 3 brines to knock me out, as brine is such a garbage move. The opponent tanks the Energy Ball and they concede the match. Heading into the next battle, we see Shadow Drapion in the lead position. A neutral crunch is something I do not fancy tanking. If they bait me with an Aquatail here, I'm going to be so sad. The opponent falls in the crunch, then send out a Zoom and once again I'm more than happy to stay in. Hyper Fang does a decent amount of damage. I'm going to farm up, look to throw the next one on the CMP tie, emptying their energy in the process. The opponent does play to the CMP tie. They do not win. Shout out the GOAT, Home Slice Henry, for that quote. The second Hyper Fang also went unshielded. I looked at their health and I thought, that looks like Fairy Wind farm down range. So they're going to take 5 bubbles to reach the next. So in theory, you can throw 8th, but if the 8th Fairy Wind doesn't knock out, which I don't think it does, I'd be forced to tank an Ice Beam. So I'm just going to throw 7, play it safe, get a small amount of residual energy, but I'm so frustrated with just how little fast move pressure this thing puts out. Of course, Fairy Wind is non-stab, but this is the Shadow variant. I dread to think how bad it is trying to farm stuff down with the regular variant of Pluff. One of the positives with Jumpluff is no one wants to shield an Aerial Ace, so they seem to all go unshielded. Putting Drapion in a range where we can just snipe from Aquatail is super effective. I don't know what's in the back, so I'm willing to tank the move, and I'm glad I did, as out comes Gator. Of course, Hydro Cannon would hit objectively harder than a non-stab Aquatail. We throw 3 Mud Slaps and the Bone Club. The opponent unable to farm down, opt to throw on CMP. Of course, I'm going to shield this up, knowing the opponent's forced to shield my Bone Club. Switch timers are misaligned. So after throwing this Bone Club, I'm going to instantly pivot out into Jumpluff. The opponent is going to be able to outpace me to the Ice Beam required, or even the Hydro Cannon required to knock me out. So go straight for the Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace isn't quite lethal. The opponent throws the Hydro Cannon. Can we Mud Slap farm him down before the Shadow Claws knock us out? Yes, we can. Marowak holds strong, and we take an incredibly close game. I actually messaged that guy on Discord because I thought that was a very well played battle from him. GG's that opponent. In the next battle, we see some Shadow and Shadow Claw with Barrel into Gator. We double resist the quick move of Shadow Claw. As normal, double resist Ghost. The Hydro Cannon also resisted, but once again Bibarel doesn't look like it resists anything. We tank the Hydro Cannon, throw one rollout and the Hyper Fang. Hyper Fang sneaks through the Protect Shield and knocks out Gator. I'm going to see what comes out. The opponent sends out Fickersby. I'm going to throw 3 rollouts and the Surf. Surf, hopefully force the Protect Shield and then make the pivot into Kanto Marowak. The entire team pretty decent into Fickersby. I was really surprised the Surf went unshielded. You can see the pros and cons of the Shadow variant of Bibarel in today's video. Bulk not there, but my god does it hit hard. The opponent went for the Fire Punch bait. This one likely is the Scorching Sands, which I correctly shield. The opponent concedes the match to that point, no idea what's in the back. Heading into the next battle, we see yet another Dunsparce in the lead. Who put out the Dunsparce lead video? Where the hell have all these Dunsparce come from? I believe once again I'm going to look to play out the Zero Shield scenario. Of course, I'm watching my own battles back, and just reflecting, I think banking the Surf and making the catch onto Marowak would be a better play. There's a lot of reasons for that, to be honest. You're looking to bait out an Ice type or potentially a Flyer. Bibarel also very attack weighted, so potentially that charge move bank could win CMP in the endgame if you find yourself in a shieldless scenario. However, this time we're actually able to force ourselves a shield advantage, which also is pretty nice because we can send up Marowak, get a very nice running start. So if they do have a Flyer, we're sitting in a great spot, as of course we've got that rock type coverage. The opponent sends up Marowak. My Marowak's got pretty garbage IVs. I anticipated winning CMP, unfortunately I don't, but that's fine. We're going to tank this move, return fire with our own Bone Club. If this Bone Club also goes unshielded, we're just going to be able to Fairy Wind farm them down. Or at least so I hope. We've seen how pathetic Fairy Wind is. I make the pivot into Jumpluff. Out comes Charger Bug. Jumpluff very advantageous to the remainder of the team and should actually sweep the back line. X-Scissor hits for neutral, so does Electric. But regardless, Jumpluff very, very bulky. We tank the X-Scissor, fire off the Aerial Ace. It looks like the next Aerial Ace won't quite be lethal. We'll put them into perfect farm down range. Once again, we're going to say that, but we've seen farming stuff down with Pluff is a near impossible task. My little cotton ball's like, put some respect on my name. I've got this farm down. Jumpluff commits to the farm down, leaving with the energy ball. The opponent recognises the game's over and they concede the match. Heading into the next battle, we see the Nightmare lead. I say switch into Kanto Marowak. Despite there being a hard counter, Kanto Marowak is the designated say switch. Of course, if they've got an Ice type, you can at least fight back, whereas if you was to say switch into Jumpluff, you just dead weight. Things aren't looking too bad as the opponent sends out Gator. They don't even shield up the Bone Club and we're able to farm down. Out comes Poliwrath once again. We're going to look to throw out Discipline Timings, using a 3-turn move into a 2-turn move, just an odd number. The first Bone Club forces the opponent's first Protect Shield. Kanto Marowak still not done, reaches the next Bone Club, rocking them into the yellow health. Kanto Marowak is such a busted mon, honestly. Icy Wind finally takes down Kanto Marowak. I'm forced to send out Jumpluff here. Bibarel looking like absolutely dead weight. What are we going to do with our little beaver? Sorry buddy, you're going to be sacrificed to the Poke Gods. Aura Wheel cleanly picks up the one shot. That Aura Wheel probably knock out that Shadow Bibarel and every Shadow Bibarel that's ever entered the Go Battle League. And it's all down to Jumpluff to clean up. I see no reason to bait. I full send the energy ball, guaranteeing the knockout or the final shield. Of course, I am just going to shield this move up. Pause, ensuring this thing's still on my screen. Fire off the energy ball, of course. Massive overkill, Morpeko, very glassy. Poliwrath is going to get outpaced to the Aerial Ace, and the opponent concede the match. GG's. In the next battle, we see the silly electric fish in the lead. Jonkers, why have you tried to revive this Pokemon? We've all had enough of it. I say switch into Kanto Marowak, baiting out Altaria. Kanto Marowak with that rock type coverage, going to be able to hit for super effective. Rock Slide has been nerfed, so it doesn't do too much, but the second will be lethal, meaning the opponent is forced to throw. In that scenario, always commit to the Rock Slide. If you throw a double resisted Bone Club, the opponent can just fully farm you down and leave with all the energy in the world. Speaking of farm downs, Bibarel does get a very nice farm down, but at the cost of a lot of HP. Back out comes Lantern. We're going to fire off the Hyper Fang and make the pivot into Jumpluff. The opponent sends out Gligar. This team's like a blast from the past or something. This guy is definitely stuck in Season 10. Energy Ball is the better DP move and does come with a chance to debuff the defense. Energy Ball goes unshielded. At this point, we're just going to spam out Aerial Ace after Aerial Ace. The opponent can hit for super effective with their own Aerial Ace, but Jumpluff, with its bulk, holding strong. Aerial Ace forces the opponent's first protection. They look to fully farm down. We're going to reach one more. You can see I was trying to switch out, but switch timer wasn't up. This next Aerial Ace forces the opponent's final Protect Shield, and it's 2 Shield Bibarel versus the Wild. I instantly put up that first Protect Shield, blocking up the Aerial Ace. The opponent then tries their luck catching the Surf onto the silly electric fish unsuccessfully. And it's time to show this trainer, who's stuck in the past, what this new meta can do. Bibarel overfarms, fires off the Hyper Fang. Hyper Fang will be moving Lantern from the field of play. When Gligar does return, Surf is going to knock him from the sky. GG's, and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, we see Mantine in the lead. The opponent says no thank you, save switch into Hakamo-O. A very spicy team, and very nice to see something that isn't boring Azuma or Clodsire, Gator, etc. For the first time ever, Jumpluff actually applying fast move pressure, because both Dragon and Fighting take super effective from our quick move of Fairy Wind. We're able to land the Air Ace, get the perfect Fairy Wind farm down. Back out comes Mantine, and once again we're going for the Energy Ball. It is the better DP move and does come with that chance for the debuff. The opponent looking for that full wing attack farm down. Jumpluff able to reach yet another Energy Ball. This Energy Ball won't quite be lethal. I'm going to attempt to snipe the rollout. The opponent anticipates that and send out Steelix. All I really need to do here is force some shields off the opponent. This is the only healthy Pokemon, so logically they're just going to shield everything, and Surf would hit hard, Shadow and Shadow Crime. I'm more than happy to shield up low health with Bibarel. You don't often see me shield up Pokemon at such low health, but I just want to guarantee the damage or that final shield. Ball in the opponent's court. The opt to invest at Protect Shield, do Thunderfang farm down, but Marowak can have no problem cleaning up. We can take any move from Steelix. The hardest move left in the game would be an Ice Beam or potential Water Pulse, whatever that Mantine's running. Even if the opponent caught this Bone Club, it would just deny their energy. They don't do that. Bone Club removes Steelix from the field of play. Mantine dies, 2-1 Mud Slap, and we take that game. In the next battle, we see Kanto Marowak from the opponent. We enter the mirror. The opponent farms up, tries the Rock Slide catch onto Talonflame. I hold my energy and I force in the Rock Slide. Does the opponent respect the damage? I'm now starting to realise why everyone goes to Bone Club baits, because apparently these Talonflame are petrified. We're able to reach the next Rock Slide, forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. I am going to settle for a Bone Club here, as that Incinerate will be knocking me out and I wouldn't get off any damage whatsoever. The opponent leaves at 100 energy, which is very, very scary. I guess I'm just going to double shit here. The opponent go for the Fly. Fly is survivable, but this is likely the Brave Bird. I don't fancy getting one shot. We shield up the Brave Bird. We do roll out farm down, and out comes Primate when we at the pivot into Jumpluff. Jumpluff can easily tank one Rock Slide, not a particularly good move. We're then just going to farm up, fire off the Energy Ball. Energy Ball will be removing them from the field of play. Down goes Marowak. Primate gonna need Ice Punch to have any chance of winning this game. I believe this is only 4 anyway, so it's just going to be a Rage Fist. Rage Fist simply will not get the job done. Aerial Ace also not going to get the job done, as Jumpluff doesn't hit particularly hard, but Switch Timer pops up. We're going to go for that Wham Bam combo play, and Bibarel is a Primate counter confirmed. That is definitely a joke, but GG's to that opponent. Heading into the next battle, we see Bibarel into the mighty Blue Mouse, but Bibarel about to show this basic meta trainer who the mightiest water type in the Go Battle League is. Yeah, I'm not sure that's true, but Bibarel actually pretty good. We land the Hyper Fang. We can tank the Play Rough. You could shield this if you wanted to keep Bibarel healthy, but I'm not really willing to shield a move from Azuma. It just feels bad, man. We're going to farm up, maximize our energy, attempt to throw on CMP. The opponent doesn't play 2 CMP. Hyper Fang removes them from the field of play. We pivot out into Marowak, and out comes Dugong. I'm very grateful that the opponent's opting to stay in. Again, most Marowak trainers bait. The opponent's got 2 shields, but regardless, we're full sending, and we really, really need this Rock Slide to land. A Rock Slide, able to sneak through the Protect Shield. We reach the Bone Club, winning the Charge Attack priority. Please let it go, trainer. The opponent does let go of it. Out comes Talonflame, and regardless, I think we're just cooked. 2 shield Talonflame in the back, with Bibarel on non-existent HP and Jumpluff, is essentially going to mean you can enjoy the next 20 or so seconds of Jamie Finn getting absolutely clapped. Whatever they throw, probably knock me out. Fly easily gets the job done. Can Bibarel roll out farm down? Of course it cannot, and I get my absolute ass kicked. GG's to that opponent. I was hoping to end today's video with a nice big fat 5-0. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be, but you can see after running quite a lot of spice recently, we have managed to regain some elo. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button if you're new, consider subscribing if you like your battles featured on my channel, or you'd like to suggest a team, post it down below or submit in the Google form provided. And I'd just like to say a huge thanks to everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.